ఒక చిన్న మాట ఏ ఊరు వెళతారు UVW వేళ. Hey! Yes, again, this is Vani with you and bringing to you another Valentine episode of United Voice of Women, because we decided that this entire month we are going to have fun with love. When is love enough? Never. And when is UVW enough? Never. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Yes, this is officially from the studios of Mana TV TV5. This is Vani with you. And of course, this part of the program once again is brought to you by KANKATALAs. Well, as you know, KANKATALAs are always wanting to treat and dress a woman like a queen that she deserves to be. So now you tell me, you know that KANKATALAs deliver to your doorstep. So do not forget to log on to kankatala.com. Now, if you all are ready, I just can't wait to introduce you to my new friend today. And when you meet her, you would say, wow, because she definitely has some serious wow factors about what she does, what she is. So I can't wait to introduce you to her. And you are ready, correct? Hey! Sharing February love once again with you all right here from the studios of Mana TV TV5. This is Vani with you. Welcome to United Voice of Women, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Am I just delighted? Well, I'm delighted every single day, but when it is Valentine's time, it is actually driving me literally crazy. So we are here in red for you with red balloons. I know tomorrow is Valentine's Day and we're recording our UVW much before next Sunday. So I know that by the time you will be watching me, we actually would have celebrated Valentine's already. But the best part is that the entire month is all about Valentine's. So you know what? We're still going to enjoy this scene, and that's why these balloons are all for you with love. Yes, 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 my friends. UVW. It's all about an ode to the women, a celebration of women, empowerment of women, and of course, inspiration by and for women. And this beautiful platform that we have here with us on the show is one of the most unique platforms ever, because this is the only platform that invites women from all around us and all among us, from every walk of life, every culture, every community, every country even. And that is the most amazing feeling that I get when I sit here, because I know every woman that comes and sits here has so much to share, and what she shares is every woman that is sharing things with me is actually making me feel so much better person, because I'm growing with every show, learning wonderful things from people that are here, and I can't thank each one of you for making it so special for me. And I think it is time for us now to introduce you to my new guest. And guess what? This lovely guest, all in red, is all set to say hello with you with balloons and love. So hey, let me, without any further ado, say UVW welcoming our guest, our friend of our show today. This is none other than Jyotsna. Jyotsna, girl! You know what? I love the way you got it out there, girl. Well, that was not literally planned, but it just so happened that I froze. And yeah, you took it there. Fantastic.
You forgot my name.
I'm so sorry. I was so excited with all the balloons around me that I just lost it. But Jyotsna, girl, welcome. All right?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure having you here. So how did you like our balloons?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like so festive with all the red. I'm in red. I mean, it's beautiful. I love the props here.
You're wearing a gorgeous dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Red is my
Really
favorite color.
pretty.
Yes.
That is amazing. You
Yes.
know, I didn't really think red was my favorite, but somehow I got into red today myself. So you know what? I think we're making a perfect picture here with all reds.
Yeah, and February is also my favorite month.
Okay, just because it's Valentine's month?
And it's also my wedding anniversary, so it's really good.
How awesome is that? And when is
Yeah.
your anniversary?
February 10th. So I get to
Okay.
spend Valentine's Day much earlier.
That is so sweet.
Yeah,
So just 4
yeah.
days, 3 days
3
actually.
days, yeah, yeah.
3 days before the Valentine's, you actually
Yes.
have your wedding anniversary.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And my favorite brother, his birthday is 17th. So it's I love February. I always look forward to that month.
That is
And the other months of the year, of course.
But for now, we are only going to be talking about February, right?
Yes.
Because we are sitting in the month of February,
Yes.
and why not celebrate it?
Absolutely.
Correct? All right, girls. So, have you watched UVW ever before?
Oh yes, I love the energy that you have. It's so much fun. It's like unexpected. It's not rehearsed or it's not staged. It's so spontaneous.
Just like what we did just now. You know, I froze
Yeah.
with my balloon for your name, but you were just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, catching on to it. Yes. So you have been watching UVW, but thank you so much. But tell me, what does it actually bring to you as a show?
I see a varied number of people. It's not like a singular kind of a thing. I see many kinds of women coming in there from different walks of life. So that's good. It's not focusing on a celebrity who's achieved something or anything. It's like celebration of womanhood. I mean, I don't consider myself as a celebrity or anybody, but I'm a woman that anybody else can relate to. So I'm on this show, so it's good.
And you know what? Each one of us deserves to feel special.
Right.
Right? That is the only thing I always believe, because I always believe I'm very special. All right, and I feel everybody around me is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Very, very, very special, very, very, very unique. And so I always am looking forward to my new guest. Okay, and today about you, you know, there's nothing much I know.
Right.
Like always, right? I don't usually know too much. But I remember from the little messages that we exchanged via Facebook, you told me something about your son being very good in what he trains in speaking? No.
Right. So the thing is, public speaking.
Public speaking.
Yes. Public speaking is a very, very crucial skill that everybody needs to learn.
So true.
Any ages, and I believe that skill needs to be taught when children are much younger, right?
Do you think that is something that develops only when you're taught?
It's you need to learn techniques of how to express yourself, right? Like for instance. You know how to express yourself, but how effectively can you express yourself, right?
So there is actually a kind of, I know public speaking is all about that, but I've never really understood, you know, what it really is. So maybe you will give us a few tips today.
Sure. So public speaking is how effectively or you convey your message within the time that's allocated. Like you have 3 minutes. So how are you going to prepare yourself? How are you going to write a speech? How are you going to go on stage, learn techniques? I mean, you don't want to waste your time saying, all those things. Like, you need to practice. You need to develop your own style. Everybody has a style.
Wow.
So my son kind of honed that skill.
Wow.
He went to different places to learn public speaking. He started with Toastmasters. That's a great place to start.
Okay.
And he has his own technique of learning. He's in the speech and debate club in his school. But what he likes is to mentor children. He likes to take on newer kids, like younger kids, and
How
teach
old
them.
is he?
He's 15. Right.
That's young.
And yeah, so over the summer, he came and told me, Mom, I want to have a workshop in public speaking for children. I'm like, are you really sure? I was like thinking in my head, oh my God, I'm going to get all these kids and how is he even going to do it? He's like, no, don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of preparation of the material and preparing the children. You just get me the children. So I posted, there's a wonderful Facebook page where I live. So I posted there. There was an overwhelming response for that. I rented a room in the library in summer. So he, with another person, went through the material and like engaged them. So it was so surprising. So this little kid who was so shy came in. He just wanted to hide under the table, literally under the table.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they relate better to another child, right?
There you go.
If it is like a teacher-child relationship, it's school, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I
the
have
thing.
to learn this lesson and answer the questions.
Correct.
No, when you get together, you learn a skill, you collaborate. Also, an important talent that I feel like everybody needs to learn is to get feedback. Good or bad, it's always good to get feedback. So when they are in that environment, they are collaborating, they are judging each other. Like one set of people judge another set of people. So it's like you express yourself and you build your technique, you practice.
Wow.
Yes.
Sounds very interesting.
Right.
You know what, Jyotsna? You yourself seem to be an amazing speaker.
Oh, thank
and
you.
Did it just come naturally to you?
Actually, my parents, growing up in India, they encouraged me to try out everything. It's like, I believe in this concept that you throw everything in the wall, whatever stick works.
Okay.
Right. So
Interesting.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, my kind of parenting is you should expose your children to everything. This is what my parents did. So my mom would enroll me in all these kinds of competition. She would say, I was like too shy. I'm like, I'm not sure I can do that. I'm afraid of speaking.
Yeah.
It's like, no, go try. Go try. If you don't like it, you don't have to go the second time. So she was always encouraging.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yes. So I went to competitions, and there was also the creative side. So over summer, she would send me to tailoring and art class and everything. So that's the kind of thing that I was imbibed by my parents.
Wow.
Is like I exposed my children to everything. I sent my son to public speaking lessons. He picked up that. I used to take him to a Russian club in Princeton where he would learn chess and analytical math. So I've exposed my children to everything. And they come back and they tell me, hey, Mom, I want to focus on this. So I let them drive it, but I guide them. The idea is theirs. I help them implement it.
That is awesome.
So I believe in progressive parenting. I'm not a tiger mom or a helicopter mom who hovers over the children or says, hey, you didn't score this much, or you lost 2 points here, or hey, you didn't do this, you didn't come first in this. That's not the thing.
Wow. So helicopter mom is one that hovers. And what about the other one?
The tiger mom is like perfectionist. You have to be perfection. Okay, you are learning piano, means you have to practice 3 hours. There's a lady who's written a book on tiger moms.
Oh.
Yes, you have to practice. So I have a different way of parenting. I'm a determined mom, I would say that. So I'm determined to let my children succeed. I will provide them all means. They pick and choose what they want to do. So it was my son's idea. So he was interested in volunteering and everything. So he volunteered in a place called Team Children. They refurbish computers and they donate it to people. So he did that over summer. He came and told me, hey, Mom, I want to start my own nonprofit. I'm like, no. I researched. Oh, that's just too much work. That's too much paperwork. Okay. You know what? Whatever you want to do, you do it through the other channel. But he said, no, Mom, I want to lead. You know, it will build my leadership skills. I can do something good. So that's when we started the paperwork for the nonprofit, and we forgot about it. It was like a very lengthy process. But meanwhile, he was developing his skill set, like mentoring children. He does hackathons.
And it was something that he just had it in him, right?
Absolutely. He brought it to me.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him. The way it has been is like, I've exposed him to different things, right? He wanted to learn the guitar. I arranged guitar lessons, but now he's too busy. He does not want to do the guitar. I don't insist on that. He loves basketball. So it's like they come up with it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And my little one, I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to really do this. It's like, no, Mom, I want to get tested in the gifted program. I'm like, that's not really necessary, you know. If you don't get in, it'll be a big blow to you. No, I want to try it. I said, okay, I will let you try it, but promise me that you won't be attached to the results.
Yes, so important.
Right?
So important.
This is the way it is. Like, you try different things. And finally, this nonprofit came through, and he's been very excited. He has a hackathon. He likes coding. He's like his dad. His dad is a Harvard grad in computer science. So they do a lot of coding and everything. So he likes programming, and he wanted to teach programming. So I have a relationship with Philadelphia Futures, which is an organization in Philadelphia. So he's going to have a hackathon for the school children, high schoolers in Philadelphia. He conducts that. So I was kind of nervous. I said, hey, you're going to engage this many kids? I mean, I want a dry run, right? So he had a hackathon in my basement for 15 kids.
Okay.
I invited them. I was like, okay, I'll give you pizza. Please stay till lunch. But he taught them a programming language called P5JS. He learned that language. He prepared the slides. He prepared a project, like taught those kids how to do it.
Wow.
And those kids didn't want to leave. His dad just sat back and corrected any mistakes that he had. It was collaborative.
Wow.
The children did wonderful. It's like I realized that there's a great niche, right?
So true.
Children mentoring other children.
Other children, totally.
Yes.
And it's not so much heard of.
Exactly. And I don't know, I'm not boasting, but I have an innate knowledge of identifying a special skill of my children.
That's amazing.
I know their special skill. And I know that my son is quietly effective. He's not like in your face kind of a person, but he can convey himself very well. He has excellent entrepreneur skill. He's intelligent. He's good at coding. My little one will blow your mind away with facts. I told him, hey, I'm going on Mana TV. You know the question he asked me? Hey, Mom, what is this Mana TV? What is the viewership of the...
Wow.
Yes. So,
so it's all about facts.
He's all about facts. And
That's his interest.
yes, and he also he expresses himself. He's a marketing guy, and I think he'll end up being a sports agent or an attorney. He's not going to be the technical kind of a guy. Wow. So I kind of nurture their talent, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, I kind of think kind of out of the box. Now he has to run this nonprofit organization, and I am his social media admin. I'm just your employee. You've got to run that.
Correct.
So he does not have the skill set for that. So I've been looking for business coaches who can guide him through it. He's not going to listen to me or my ideas. I'm dated, right? The way it is. Because,
yes, definitely for them.
Because this generation of children is like, we are black and white Doordarshan TV.
There you go.
But they are high definition TV.
Wow, you said it, girl.
Yeah, they communicate over
Totally.
Snapchat. I don't
Yes.
even have that app.
We don't even know how to use it.
Instagram and Facebook. right?
True.
Right? They write blogs and vlogs and YouTube. Their whole way of learning and communication is different.
Different.
Yes.
Another level.
Yes, and I'm not skilled enough to guide him. So I
None
have.
of us from our generation.
Yes.
Right? Because like you said, we definitely belong to another generation.
Yes, there's nothing
There's
wrong
a
with
huge
that.
gap.
Yes.
No, there's nothing wrong about it.
Right.
I'm just saying the generation gap is too huge compared
yes.
to what it was between us and our parents.
Absolutely.
Right? Or maybe though there was a difference, they were also trying to be very much with the present, with us. Maybe that's why we turned out to be what we are today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? They were not talking to us about, no film days. Possibly. Now, like I'm saying, if we are black and white, then what were our parents, right?
Our parents.
So, yeah. So they didn't even have movies.
I Love
cinema.
Lucy age of.
Right? So, you know what? This is a wonderful topic. And oh my God, did you see that? It's very, very rare that I am speechless for a very long period of time.
Really?
I am, okay? And you really, really blew my mind, okay? The way you started off, and I just was lost in what you were talking about because it was really very, very, very empowering to me because I was learning something new. I was understanding something new, a completely different perspective of being a mom,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was fabulous, and if you leave me alone, I'll go on with you like this for hours, and I know you will too. But like what we do really on the show is know a little more about you,
Sure.
right? So I want to know, now it is even more important for me to know how you grew up
Fantastic.
because of what I see right now in you.
Yeah.
All right, and it all has to do with the way you grew up.
Your parenting is directly proportional to your parents.
And your circumstances, your surroundings, your everything that was part of
Yes.
you while you were growing up, I think plays a role, right? Because without that combination and permutations, different things, whatever you add, that's what makes each one of us different, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Besides what we are personally,
Yes.
everything around us matters so much.
Yeah.
So can't wait to hear all about
Sure,
you. And we'll start off right from the beginning.
Okay,
Where were you
absolutely.
born?
Yeah, my father studied to be a metallurgist. He studied in Indian Institute of Science, one of the premier colleges in India. Then he started a factory. I grew up in Tumkur. And my mom was a housewife, but she took over the factory. She would run the factory, and this whole non-profit serving the community actually came from her.
Wow.
Because she used to run. She was a treasurer in a place called Bharati Stri Samaj. It was all for women.
Wow.
Right. So they would get grant from the Karnataka board, and she would build Anganwadis. Anganwadis is nothing but like creche or like a school for underprivileged children.
Right.
Their parents are like construction workers and everything. So they teach them something. They provide them milk and food and all that. And she's been doing that from the past 30, 40 years.
Wow.
Right. Even now that she should be slowing down, she still feels that she can do a lot to that. So there were like so many events that she used to organize. She used to have like a flower arrangement kind of a show where she would get all the women. She would teach yoga and everything. She was all about empowering women.
Wow.
Yes. And what she did was she was afraid that if there was a pile of money, it would get misused. So she built buildings with that. Right, and she did a lot. She still does that. So like charity has always been there in our house, and I grew up seeing and being involved in that.
Wow.
Yes, and
So you grew up in Tumkur, you
Tumkur,
said?
yes, that's very close to Bangalore.
Bangalore,
Yes.
okay. And you are the only child?
I have two brothers.
Okay.
I grew up quite like a tomboy.
Okay.
So there was no distinction. And my parents, they never raised us like you're a boy or a girl. They gave us every opportunity, like everything they asked us to explore. Go explore, science exhibition, museum, competition, art, tailoring, everything my parents exposed us to.
Wow.
They wanted us to select and do the best for us.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was actually my older brother, when I had finished my 12th, he said, hey, there is these other RECs that you can study. RECs and Ivy League.
Okay.
So I didn't know anything. I mean, you are in the small town. He said, I saw it in the library, in the newspaper, that they're taking applications for other RECs and you should apply.
Wow.
So it's like,
So
it's
you grew up being a very, very studious girl?
studious girl, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you had your own aspirations?
Yes, I wanted to be an architecture. So I did a degree in architectural engineering from REC Calicut. It was one of the toughest courses.
Wow.
Very few people like really graduate out of it, and I stood first in many semesters, and I stood fourth in the Calicut University.
Wow.
So it was really, really good.
Yes.
And I worked for some time in Bangalore.
Why architecture? What got you into
I
architecture?
love art. I love drawing. I love interior design. I mean, that's the way I wanted to go. It was so interesting.
Wow.
Drawing and everything. So my mother knew I loved art. So she
You know,
was.
all those years ago, no, it was not something that everybody even knew about it. Like
Yes,
we know
yes,
about architecture
yes.
now.
Now, yeah.
Right? We talk about architects now in a big way, but not at that time.
At that time, it wasn't very popular.
Very-
but
it was not one of the
very
most popular,
It was computer
definitely.
science, electrical, electronics all the time.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, and I had a chance to even switch my major when I went into engineering to production or something, but I stuck
So
around.
did it come to you all by itself, or did you see somebody doing architecture?
I have an older cousin brother who was an architect. He built beautiful houses.
Okay.
And I was all, and Ayn Rand is one of my favorite writers. She's written Fountainhead. And even when I was in India, I would see all the different architecture, the beautiful buildings and everything. I was very interested in that.
Wow.
So I went there. I graduated from there. But somehow when I graduated,
What about in school? Right from school, you were like very good.
yeah, I was good in academics, then art and everything. Yes, drawing.
Art, did you also do a lot of painting and stuff?
Painting,
Yeah,
yeah.
you did?
My mother used to get me all kinds of paints. She used to send me to painting classes.
Okay.
See, she used to send me to all kinds of art things like satin art or something. She used to always keep me occupied.
So she saw that you had a thing for
Yes,
art.
yes,
Yeah? What
yes.
about anything else? Dance, drama?
Yeah, she sent me to dance and music, but I didn't stick around.
You didn't really stick around there? Okay, so art
It
was
was not
something.
my cup of tea. Art was kind of.
Okay.
And I went one summer. When I was in 10th or 11th grade, I learned how to stitch.
Uh-huh.
So I started stitching my own salwars. It was so much fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember doing that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was great. She used to get me all the fabric, and it was fun times.
And,
So-
and did you do some elocutions and debates in school?
Oh yes, absolutely.
so.
Yeah, speech competition.
I
I
thought
remember
so.
going to the state level in Vishveshwaraya Museum in Bangalore.
Wow.
Yeah. So I say expressing yourself is a very, very core skill.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good your idea is. If
Correct.
you can't sell it,
Correct.
it just stays as an idea.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
perfectly put.
Right. You don't have to be an orator or like a politician who goes and speaks in front of the masses.
Correct.
But communicating to your boss, communicating to your children, communicating to your neighbors.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's key.
So it's not even as if, when we say sell, people might automatically take it for, selling in the market. But what you really mean is being able to communicate, let the other person understand what you mean is, I think, extremely important.
Yeah, even in this country, it's far more
any
important.
country.
In any country.
In
yeah.
any country, between any two individuals for that matter, isn't it? I mean, in a family, like
absolutely.
you said, being able to express what you really want to say to your child, or to your husband, or to your in-laws, or other members of the family. It doesn't even have to be actually office.
Yeah.
A lot of people have problem with communication, and I would say they're badly affected in the family first.
Yes.
Don't you
yes,
think?
Agreed.
Because, they are never able to express themselves, they're never able to tell what they really want to say and expect others to understand because they thought they've already said it all. So I feel that nothing is more important,
Than communication.
right, than
yes.
communication. So forget about work, etc. even for basics. So I think it is for every human being.
Right. Communication is the key.
Right, for every human being. And now when you're talking about being able to train people, etc., and when you told me
Yes.
about your son, you know, such a small child is thinking about it. So I just suddenly thought that, you know what, it should also be there for just regular women.
Exactly.
Don't you
Yeah,
think?
absolutely.
I mean, that would
Yeah.
be something so amazing. I don't think anybody usually thinks about it.
No. Yeah, and also it comes with having another critical thing in my life along with communication is always having mentors, coaching, networking. That is the key. And I believe that you should have a board of directors for yourself. They are a set of people that you rely on.
Wow.
It's very, very critical.
That's so beautiful.
Yes, yes. You need to have mentors. You need to have coaches that are personal coaches, who are career coaches. Always look for the connection or network that you can rely on. See, a lot of people
grow as a person.
Yes, a lot of people think that they can succeed or achieve something, but having a mentor or a coach backing you up makes the journey a lot more
But
easier.
how does that happen? I mean, you mean to say go for professional help all the time?
Professional,
No.
personal, everything. At work, you can have like a senior person and
At
help.
work, yes.
Yes.
I understand. I think we all do in terms of work. But I
Yes.
want to understand it at home, at a level where, like you said, you might have some aspirations for yourself while you're younger and you want to do something. So are you saying that even at that time, it's good to have this kind of
Absolutely.
setup?
Right
I
now.
thought that's what you meant when you
Yes,
started, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's why it caught
Yes.
my attention.
So this is a critical aspect of it. Like at the moment, my son has a raw talent, and I cannot guide him. I'm not talented enough to guide him.
Yes.
He needs a coach, right?
Okay.
A mentor. I've always relied on people, mentor. You cannot live in a silo. You cannot raise a child successfully in a silo, or a successful child in a silo. It takes a village.
Of
You need
course.
to rely on some critical people. They don't. It's like puzzle. Everybody is holding a piece of puzzle. You have to bring it all together.
That's beautifully put.
Yes, yes. So for instance, my son is doing well academically. I have people in a school working for him, like the counselors, the gifted teacher, the supervisor. They're invested in my son. So academically, they have chalked out a plan.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Right? And then for other aspects, he needs to improve on his SAT scores or something. I have another person for that.
Correct.
Okay, he has this spark or an entrepreneurship spark that he wants to really succeed. I have a coach for that. So I rely on different sets of people to help me succeed.
In getting him where he wants to go.
I rely on other moms. I'm not the kind of mom who hides things. Hey, I have this, I'm just going to keep it to myself. No, I reach out. Right?
Okay.
So I'm always there thinking, strategizing, like seeing what works best. I try different things. I'm not afraid to try. And that's what I tell other parents. I mean, don't take the path that is being taken all the time.
Beaten by millions.
yes, take the path untrodden.
Correct.
Look at the third dimension. It is when you go to a teacher, you don't say, hey, my son didn't get 2 marks. Why didn't you grade him? That's not the lesson that you should learn here. You should say, go and ask her, hey, can you please give me a feedback how my child can improve? Communicating.
Okay.
You need allies.
You do. Everybody does.
Everybody does.
And I guess at every stage.
At every stage, I seek help, right? I
Wow.
don't know something, I seek
A
help.
lot of things we don't know.
Yes, we don't know. And don't be
Right?
afraid to ask,
Yeah.
what's the worst a person can say? No?
I don't know.
Or, no, I
Yes.
can't help you. It's okay. It's not going to hurt you.
It's not. But wow, this is a very interesting concept about parenting that you're talking about. So, do you see this around you? You have a lot of friends around you, and do you see the same kind of parenting around you?
Not a whole lot.
But Do you see it at all?
I see it growing. I like when I help somebody, they do help me out. So I get something back, but this is a kind of progressive parenting that I have mastered. It's probably other people are not aware of, right? It's working for me, so it
Okay.
possibly will work for others.
Okay, so what would be the first step?
Of trying everything, trying different things.
Isn't that exactly what all parents do? I see a lot of
sometimes,
parents putting their children in all different kinds of schools for music or dance or art and things like that. So isn't that the first step?
That is also the first step, but then most parents beat their children to perfection,
Yes, they do.
right?
They
You don't
definitely do.
identify what works and doesn't work for your child.
Okay.
Identify that first. What is
Okay.
your child passionate about, right? Every parent that I see around goes to robotics. So those children are all robotics. Oh, I have to go to robot. I have to go to robotics.
I hear you.
No,
I
I
hear
mean,
you.
no. Does he like coding? Does he like this? Does he like that? What does your
never
child
know,
like?
right?
You've not asked your child. You've not given that choice to your children.
So how do you ask?
You show them different things. You get their feedback.
Okay.
And see what works best with them. Okay, I did try piano because everybody tried.
Yes.
But my son was not into it. It was not his thing.
I have seen that happen to
Yeah.
many of the people around.
But
yeah.
then I put him in flute. He's doing much better there, right? Because he has a good teacher, and it's something that he can control or he likes
Better.
better,
Definitely.
right?
Right, when somebody does better in something,
Yes, so-
right, it just means that they find it more.
Yes, but if a
Interesting.
child doesn't like something or wants to drop out of it, it's not failure. Don't look at it as a failure.
There you go. I think that is an important
I don't look
step.
at it as a failure. Yeah.
Um,
I don't think, hey, I spent so much money on the piano lessons. They're expensive.
I'm sure
I
that.
moved on. Okay, I tried it. It's not his cup of tea. I moved on.
Correct. But I think to have this kind of relationship with the kids, I guess it's very important first. Would you say that you develop that kind of relationship with your
Yes.
kids?
Absolutely.
Do you think that's a very important part of it?
Yeah. I nurture, I have a environment in my family where they can express themselves. They cannot be inappropriate. They can express themselves. I don't beat them up or I don't punish them. There's a kind of a silent treatment there.
Yes.
Punishment is me not talking to them. I don't go after small things like, hey, you got a B+. My kid would come and cry to me that he got a B+. I love to console him. So that's the kind of relationship that I have. I imbibe in them that it's okay to fail sometimes.
Wow.
Actually, failure is good.
Because it teaches
They
you.
get overconfident.
You're so right. So right. Wow. That's interesting. And like you said, this is a topic that is always of real interest to me about the way the parenting is going on, okay? An important reason might be because I don't have children myself, so maybe what I see around me, I see as a third person. So you know what, I'm actually getting a good overview of
Right.
all kinds of different parenting that goes on around me, right? And I've seen people, all kinds of different parents and how the children grew up, because of a certain behavior, etc. And this is of real interest to me.
Yeah.
It always has been. So that's why I possibly ask so many questions when it gets
It's great.
when it
Yes.
gets to this
Yes.
part of it, right? And I've seen somebody like my sister who has been stressing her whole life about the kids, right? I mean, they are just superstars, both of them, all right? They're doing so exceptionally well. It is unbelievable, all right? And having kids like that, I do not see her at peace at any given point of time. She is so stressed, okay, and she thinks that nobody will understand it.
Right.
Okay, so
I understand that.
I'm just giving you an example of my sister because it's so much more easier to use her instead of
Yes,
you know, other
yes.
people around, but I'm sure we have so many people like that around. For some
Embrace
reason.
the challenge. It's enjoy the journey, right? It's like they going to Ivy League is not your goal. They becoming successful people is the goal. It's
As
a
an individual,
marathon,
right?
Yes.
As an individual.
Yes, yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Be an individual. Grow them
Right.
to learn to be an
That-
individual.
That comes automatically. Their ambitions, their aspirations come on their own. I feel like you cannot impose something on a child. It has to come
Just
naturally.
because, you know, you guys, you parents came from Ivy Leagues doesn't really mean that that's the best in the world, right?
They have to be interested in
If
it.
they are, and if they are not, it's absolutely okay.
It's
isn't it?
fine.
Right?
It's perfectly fine. There are so many
Absolutely.
options.
Everybody
Yes.
doesn't have to come from a
Yes.
Yale, right, or a Harvard,
Yeah.
right? There are other things, tons of other things, and when you actually try to, like you said, you know what, the skill about your child wanting to be an entrepreneur and want to be trying to take leadership, that's
Yes.
very rare,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, and also there are other children out there, and I know a girl who wants to do some research about blood or something. There's a spark in every child.
is.
Nurture that. Don't be
Absolutely.
just wondrously focused on grades.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Why is it such a big problem with everybody? Why are these grades the only
Because we
thing
grew up
important?
like that, right? For us,
But we were not beaten up for that. I don't think
beaten
so.
up. Yes, they don't know. They're not aware. That's all. You have to spark. Like, for instance, there was this girl who liked fashion. Like, you have YouTube, right? You have to
Correct.
nurture that. And for me, it's like after my son, I want to be like a coach for children. Like, nurture. Like, if you have a spark, I want to help them be successful. Develop it.
That's most important.
Right?
Right, that is
Yes.
actually the best part a parent can play, isn't it? Be able to nurture what they really want to be.
Yeah.
Or what they're interested in for now, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I also feel like if a child is aspiring something or engaged in something, they have to be self-motivated
Correct.
in order to succeed.
Yes.
It's like you can take a horse to the water.
But you cannot make it drink. Oh, my dad used to say it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it has to come within the child.
Within the child. But all that happens, I guess, when you have that kind of environment,
Yeah.
right, wherein everything is okay, right? Definitely you're not trying to tell them, you're not giving them very low set of standards or something. Never. Don't do that. We help them know that you can be the best in anything you want to, possibly. And be able to, like you said right now, also be able to help them with mentors in that space.
Absolutely.
Right, and give them a chance how
And-
they do it. It could be anything, like you said. She wanted to try some
Fashion
testing blood or
things.
something.
Yes.
I don't know what it is. Nobody even would know what it is.
Yes,
right?
yes, but they have that spark. in
But I'm
them.
sure there are some
Yes.
people out there that would possibly
yes.
be able to help
Yeah.
instead of.
Right, and also let go of some control. Give them some independence too. Like, for instance, my son came and complained, hey, my PC is so slow, I need a... I said, see, you know what? I'll give you how much ever money you want. You do the research and you upgrade it and make it good. He took it as a challenge. He increased the SSD, the RAM, the everything, 200, 300 bucks. The computer flies.
That is smart. You're a smart mom. Yeah,
Yes,
get them
so-
to do stuff.
Right, so give them something that they can own and do it. Children
fact,
like that. They
yes.
thrive in that challenge.
Correct.
Right.
And the very intelligent children of
Yes.
this generation are extremely, extremely blessed. I would say so. You know,
Yeah.
because the world is at the fingertips right now, right?
It's like Elon Musk, Ellen DeGeneres, Marissa Myers.
I swear.
They are the leaders. I mean, Elon Musk is there. I mean,
My God.
people emulate him, and how?
How? No, but it all starts from, I think, just the environment. You believe
And
that?
a good support system, absolutely.
Right? If you don't give them that environment, it's not really going to,
Right.
blossom. Correct?
Yes.
Wow. So you were always, you said you had great grades and you were doing very well all throughout your
Right.
schooling and the way you grew up. And luckily for you, your kids seem to be that as well.
Yeah.
But what would you say if your kids were not really that ambitious? Would that make any difference?
No, it
in the
would
kind of
not.
mom you would be?
No, there would be something else. I believe in Deepak Chopra and his principles. He says that every person has a unique talent.
Correct.
Okay, that talent might not be the best grades, but there's something unique about them.
Yes. And everything is fantastic.
Yes, there is something. Okay, doesn't have to be the best grades. That's all right.
That is all right, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know why I ask you that question? Because everything we speak here is beyond just between you and me, because we are also on a camera here, right? Yeah. Though we forget mostly, when we are
You
sitting
make
and
it.
chatting.
You make it like easy to talk about.
Well, but that's the whole idea, right? Because we are not really talking here about any discovery. We're not talking about
No.
new science. We're not giving them any news, right? News updates, yeah. What we're doing here is just talking about life. Right,
Absolutely.
basic life, which is, I feel, the most important thing in anybody's life, because what is more important than life? And we seem to be speaking about everything else in the world except life, right? So this is what really, really gets me ticking. Okay, life. Okay, I feel it's wow, right? Like, I grew up, I said, not with great grades. Okay, I hardly was ever really interested in
Look at you
academics.
now. You are a great
don't know.
anchor. I mean,
I mean-
academics and grades are not everything.
Yeah, you never know.
No.
Okay, you just never know. All right, and that never really interested me ever. Okay, I did my MBA, etc. But it was just because I had to do it. Right, just get it done and over with.
Yeah.
All right, and then in real life, I saw people, I met people, I learned a lot of things. All right, now I'm an entrepreneur in IT leadership hiring, which is a very niche space, and this is a space where actually I'm dealing with all the CEOs of all the IT integration partners, etc. So I'm doing all that. Okay, I do. TV is something new that I'm doing. I was doing, radio for a very long time. I did all this, but you know what? Through all these conversations, etc., something else I learned, that that people here in the US already know what it is, okay, which possibly we didn't know back home at that time. Definitely we didn't, because one of my friends was talking to me about her child, and she was telling me that her child was finding it very difficult. I mean, that child is a very good child, wants to
Right.
study, giving it all it takes, but he's actually not able to do well. Okay, so the teachers, okay, so she decided she'd put him in a private school and see how it goes. And over there, they did some aptitude tests, etc. And they said he has got a small problem. When you actually generalize and tell him anything, all right, when you're teaching, generally, all right, then he doesn't grasp it. He needs to actually internalize it, and for that, he needs to be told directly about it. So when you actually focus on him and tell him what it is, he gets it better. So than in sitting down in a classroom of
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
so he can
many
be
kids.
homeschooled or.
Yeah, so it seems that was the only issue he had. All right, so once they figured that out and they started explaining things to him directly, he's been doing very well.
Fantastic.
So when I heard about that, it just clicked to me that, you know what, everybody always said that I was very intelligent. Okay, people just automatically assume that maybe for whatever reason I was doing all these debates and stuff, and I was really, really good in every extracurricular, activity involved except sports, of course. Didn't want to move. Okay, but people used to say that I never got it, and then later when she was speaking like this, I understood something. That okay, so maybe I need, when I was talking to you earlier about, I need that personalization.
Yeah.
So then it suddenly struck to me that maybe because I was sitting in a class of, 20, 30 kids, and when it was generally being explained, I could not grasp it. It did not really get to me. But if I was actually taught one-on-one, maybe more personalize it towards me and teach me something, I would be much better, because today I have learned so many more things that are so simple, but it finally came to me now. right? It didn't come to me earlier. So it's not that somebody is lacking intelligence or lacking interest. I think, like you said, there is some way to figure it out. Okay, why? You know, why a child is not really doing good in this or that, right?
Yeah.
This, I think, is so important. And we are in a country where these aptitude tests, etc., are so easy for you to be able to, you know, understand what your child is or what you are. So living in a country like this and stressing over kids is something I find it extremely surprising, shocking even.
Yeah, and it's also peer pressure. It's peer pressure.
What is the peer pressure about?
Peer pressure is, hey, my child, hey, the neighbor's child got this much in math and you didn't get it. And in our neighborhood, it's like getting into STEM. STEM is one of a magnet school there, which is like totally randomized. You write an essay and you get teacher recommendation to get that. And it's like peer pressure. Parents like panic. Hey, my child didn't get into STEM. Hey, but the other options are equally good. Why are you thinking that STEM is the end of the world? Why do you think that you're not looking at the big picture? Your child.
Tell me something. Sorry to cut you there. I suddenly got a thought. Is that one of the things that is different about how we were parented in comparison with how we are parenting right now? Our parents, they didn't really talk much about the neighbor's child doing extremely well in something.
Yeah, our parents were more focused
on... Not as much, right?
Not as much. But here, the cream of the crop comes to the US. So they are competing against each other. In India, we didn't have that kind of competition.
There were all kinds of different people and everybody was
equal.
Well, that's not a place that people really thought everybody was equal anyway.
But I don't think...
Just thinking, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think that was so... The parents are more driven here.
Why? Is it important?
It's not important, but it's something that they want to do. They strive, they think that their success is dependent on their children's success.
Do you believe that?
No.
You don't?
Your success is not dependent on your child's academics. It's on how well they do in life.
And that could be anything?
Anything.
Even if that person turns out to be just a very good human being.
Oh, perfect, or a trash driver.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And by the way, I also feel that today's generation, kids are already very ambitious.
Yes.
Because of the kind of knowledge they have on their fingertips. The entire world, right? These computers, you know, I mean, they've changed everybody's lives totally.
Yeah. People have stopped watching cable TV. They learn everything on YouTube.
Exactly.
On the internet.
Exactly.
Right? There are no books. I feel very, very sad. I used to have from the time my older son, there's a 5-year gap. The older son, I used to buy books and books and books. And of course, there were bookstores, there were Borders, and there were Barnes and Nobles. Now they're all gone out of business.
Closed, yes.
To the generation of my younger son.
True.
It's not that he's not learning. He's learning,
much
but not from the books.
Correct, because we're so used to that.
Yes,
right?
he's like, you have Google Home. He's like, he wants a stat. Okay, Google, how much is this?
Exactly.
It's like, or Alexa, or YouTube. He watches one Canadian bald guy who spits out facts. He just loves it.
Wow.
It's
I know.
Technology is a boon and a bane, but you have to look at the positive.
Very true, very true. See, he already knows what he likes, only because of that kind of exposure that not just a parent can give. Right?
Yeah.
They have to get it from the entire world. Right? And that's what they are getting already.
The world is their oyster.
Absolutely. And this is real for once, right? It was not really real at our times, you know, though they used to talk about it. But today it's so much more real because it's so much more possible, right? Possibilities are so endless here.
Opportunities. There are much more opportunities now than when we were back then.
Very true. Very true. Okay. I want to talk to you again about your different moms that you were describing. Right? You said helicopter mom and tiger mom, and what other kinds of moms do you know of?
There's one that's crazy mom. That's me.
No, but there are a lot of crazy moms too. You know, running around like headless chickens.
Yes, I mean you don't have to take on so many activities and overwhelm yourself. right?
Yes.
It's not really needed. Whatever
Yes.
your child is interested in it, go for it. And seek help. You cannot be there all the time to drop and pick up or anything, right? You need a village to let your son or your daughter grow. Seek help. Have nannies to pick up or takeouts, or you're trying to be too perfect. You want to master everything, and you make your life hell on your own.
And maybe that is the reason why they are more stressed.
If you're stressed, it's affecting your child as well.
Very much.
Yes.
Because in the house, the atmosphere is very tense. The man and the woman, father and the mother, are both, filled with, what's going on at work, okay?
Yeah.
And then besides that, they don't get enough time with each other. All right. On top of that, you have taken up this huge responsibility of being responsible for everything, right from how your son or daughter sneezes, right? Everything has to be like perfect.
If
Perfect.
one thing is it blows up, the whole thing blows up. No, actually, it's such a funny thing that you come and say. My younger one came and told me, "Mom, I'm getting fatter."
Oh.
It's because you're not putting me in any soccer or basketball or swimming. I was so embarrassed.
Oh my
it's like,
God.
I'm so sorry your dad travels, and it's like next to impossible for me to take you, but I will take you on the weekend.
Well, that's what he's hearing around, possibly, right? He needs some kind of physical activity.
Because it's winter, right? He
Yes,
doesn't-
yes. But I tell you, see, the kids know it themselves what they need.
See, I want to go and play basketball. Can you really do that? I'm like, so finally, things are kind of okay now. I found somebody who can like pick up, drop, because my husband travels. So I don't do 20 different things, right? I do things that gives me pleasure, gives them pleasure too, and doesn't kill myself. I don't cook every day. I eat a lot of takeout. So what? I mean, enjoy your life.
Good,
Right.
good. I think these are the tips that really help, right? It's okay. You don't really have to cook every day. Or
Yeah.
I don't know what else can help you actually de-stress yourself. But if we don't start living our life, living each of our child's life, I think it'll be so much more lighter.
Yes.
Do you think so?
Yes. And your child is not a project,
Yeah.
right? It's his success is not your parenting success, right? Don't be so attached to the results.
Yeah, like you told your
Enjoy
son,
the
right?
process, yeah.
That if you want to go and do something, I do not want you to be attached with the results. That's what you
No.
told your younger
Yes,
son, right?
yes.
Yeah, don't be attached with the
No.
results.
That's what you teach them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is the best takeaway from you today.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very beautiful.
Karmane vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadacha.
I heard
It
that
is
so many
written.
times, but tell me what exactly does it mean?
It means try your best, but don't expect the results to be the way you want it. You can only try.
You can
The
only
results
try.
are not in your hand.
Yes.
But don't be afraid to try.
Yes. And it's okay whether you
Yeah.
go this way or that way. Right? You gave it
Yeah.
a try.
I
That
tell
is
my
so
son
awesome.
my kids are perfectionists. I tell them, no, go try. So what if you got a few marks less? It's all right.
Just go and do it.
Just go and do it. It's okay.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing, tell me. So in a house, does it work if the father and the mother, both of them, are guiding kids separately,
No, you need to work together.
and when together becomes very difficult?
You need to have an agenda. See, both in our house, there has to be a consensus. Things don't happen without my husband's approval or my approval. You have to work like a well synchronized ship, right? You
Okay.
cannot work in silos, right?
Yes.
So we all work in tandem.
But for that to happen, there has to be some kind of formula, right?
Yeah, it's a level
Because
page.
mostly it is usually a chaos.
It is. See, I am an extreme. I'm too adventurous, too flighty, too edgy. My husband is the leveler. Is the level one. So he has an analytical way of coming up with results. So I take his input very, very well. And he relates to the children also well, right? So if there's something sounding board, we come together, and as parents, you have to be the good cop, bad cop.
Correct, correct. I think that works the best.
Yes, yes.
Isn't
you
it?
have to be in tandem.
Yes.
Right. You have to work together.
Yes. Many times I feel that is another very big problem, right? When actually the mother and father are not able to communicate well enough with each other before they actually go to the children.
No.
You think that
Yes.
because
Yes.
well, in a perfect world, it would be great if everybody was synchronized, but it doesn't really happen that way.
If in my case, if it's not synchronized, then there's something wrong in the equation. We don't go ahead with it. If we both don't agree with it, we don't go ahead
So
with it.
already there is a plan.
Yes, the
Okay,
plan.
that's why it is actually working. So I'm just thinking randomly, like when you said that to me, we also know in reality we see tons of friends around us, mothers, fathers, everybody. Lot of fathers have no clue what's happening.
No. That's
You know?
that's a bad thing. The fathers,
Bad or good, but
yes,
it's there.
Yeah, it's there. If the fathers are just chauffeurs to drive around their children, they're not doing their job effectively.
That's true.
You have
But-
to be involved.
Yes, but how many fathers are really involved? From whatever I see around me, you know what? How many fathers ever actually changed a diaper? You know, among all my friends that I have around me, I think I just know 2 guys, all right, that actually did, all right? Hardly any father has actually done that, and it is the truth.
Yes,
it is the truth.
yes.
You know,
In my case, unfortunately, my husband worked from home for like 7 years. He was the house daddy. He was the mother for the children.
yeah, because he was able to take care of. All
Yeah,
that.
he took care. We were lost when he started traveling. It's like only recently he started traveling, but he's been so involved in their
Yes.
progress and in their. So it matters a lot that the dad is involved.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
They can come around. You can. I mean, it's their children. I mean, there's a way of conveying. I think they've not been involved in the process.
That could be very true too.
Yes, if you involve them in the process, they will come on board.
Yeah. Everybody needs a different way to be encouraged
Yes.
or involved.
Yes.
I
It's
think.
it's not like that dad is not interested in the child.
It can't be. It's not
It's
possible.
never,
I don't
because
believe
it's
that
against
either.
the grain.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
You're
but
very
s-
right about that.
Yes, communication
Yes.
is the key again.
Yes, yes.
The
yes.
way
That's
you
why I brought this up.
communicate,
Yes.
the way you have to be in the same page. It cannot be extreme. You're not taking
Correct.
the father's input.
Correct.
So that's why he's disconnected.
Yes, and a lot of things have to come in place for that. And I picked this topic here because I don't want people that are listening to us to just think that, oh, you're just the lucky one who has a great husband, so everything's working. I'm sure for the best of the best people, without enough communication and without enough work on trying to put those things together, it doesn't happen like magic. Right? It's no magic anywhere. Even what you have tried to develop in your house that you're talking about right now, it might sound like, wow, it can never happen to anybody else. This is too perfect. But I'm sure, okay, I feel it's never that one person is very good and the other one is very bad. It can't be.
No.
You know, I think everybody has a degree of good and a degree
Of
of bad in them, right? Each human being is like that. So that's why I want to be able to say that every woman that shares something with us here can also be discussed more in terms of generalizing it so that you don't feel that something is happening only for that
No,
particular
no.
person because they did something right. Yes, they did something right. That must have been a lot of work.
Yes, and you
Right?
need to share that. How did they do it? What is the formula?
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not going to
Exactly.
keep it inside.
Correct.
Like knowledge has to be
Correct,
shared.
correct. You're right. You're right. And that's what I think we can do on this platform. It cannot happen anywhere else, right? Being able to help each other understand these things that are very important, but in our society or in any society, usually it's supposed to be not something that is supposed to be discussed openly for whatever reason, right? They say it's a family matter, it's a family matter, but when things are not going right, you're not happy, all right? then why should it be something that is closed?
Right.
All right, this is not anybody's fault. I think if we just
it's
believe
not.
that,
No,
if we
it's
just
nobody's
accept
fault.
that, right, it's nobody's fault.
You have to accept that things are never going to be perfect.
Yes.
You have to accept the fact that things are going to fall apart.
all the time.
Yes,
For
you're going to
everybody.
be helpless.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm
but
sure
it's
it must
all
have
right.
happened a million times to you.
million times.
No, for
helpless,
you, I'm
yes.
sure, right?
I have
It must
cried
have
my
happened.
eyes out. I have done it.
It's normal,
It's perfectly normal.
isn't it? As long as we accept that.
At the end of the day, I'm going to cry out. I'm going to do everything and start all over. It's brushing, rinsing, repeating. Keep trying.
Exactly.
Keep trying. Keep trying.
Exactly. And we'll get to what we want,
You will get to it.
right? Because we all deserve to be happy,
Absolutely.
right? We all deserve to be happy, and nobody is greater than us, all right? We are all almost the same. It's just how each one of us is focusing and on what and how much, right? All these little things, when we share it and put it out, okay,
Yeah.
it can be such a huge learning.
Yeah, there's
For
something that
everybody.
they don't know about, right?
Yes.
So when I put this flyer out for public speaking, people didn't know that it can be taught.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Like I wanted to know, for example, you said something very interesting right in the beginning when you were talking to me about public speaking, and you said if you wanted to talk about something, a particular thing in, let's say, 3 minutes, and then you have to be really concise, right? And you have to be able to. There's actually a formula for making that happen. It just doesn't happen on its
Yeah.
own. And you said you prepare. So what you prepare, how do you prepare, and would you say is the formula for it? If you just wanted to say something in 3 minutes.
Right. So in 3 minutes, how do you collect your thoughts?
Okay.
What should be the highlight? What should be the middle? How do you conclude? Your conclusion is very important. How do you write it out? Okay. How do you pace yourself? Right? How do
Everything
you make eye
matters.
contact? How do you have a body language to it? Right? All these things come together. How do you write a speech? What words do you put in that you can convey the message? Right? Does it have to be too eloquent of a word that people don't get the meaning?
Understand.
Right? So it has to be a perfect admixture of confidence, what you want to convey, and being able to sell your idea. Right? That's a skill that you need to practice and develop.
And this is something that you learn through public speaking.
Yes.
This is how
absolutely.
they teach you.
Yes, yes.
Right?
You go in front of the stage, hold a mic, and you talk. You know how difficult that is?
Yes, it is.
I mean, how many times a politician has practiced it?
Yes. Oh, they actually read out.
Yes. I mean,
Lot of
like the teleprompter, but an
Yes.
impromptu speech.
Yes, the very few that happening now. They used to happen much earlier though.
Right, yeah.
Right, there were at least a few people that really know how to speak, but today I guess a lot of the political leaders forget about them. But you know, the rest of the world is still doing it very well. Some people are doing much better than the
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
And always heard about public speaking, and for some reason
Yeah.
never really put my thoughts into it.
So,
it could be fun.
Right. I'll give you an example. There was this very shy girl who came to the summer camp. She wouldn't just talk at all. And then it was time for the final, not the competition, to show their parents that they can speak. And her topic was, how would I design a shoe? I was blown away with the kind of things.
know.
It was impromptu. It was like they were just given the topic like half an hour back.
Wow.
She blew my mind away. She
Wow.
spoke so beautifully
That's amazing.
about Italian leather. I don't remember the details, but she went there and she spoke. I mean,
That's amazing. You know what? Right when you said this, something else clicked in my mind. For example, I'm somehow thinking very seriously right now about in every family, the
Yes.
man and the woman, the parents, the head of the family. These people should know how to express and how they should talk, how they should be able to express what they're feeling and how important it is. And when you were talking to me about YouTube and how kids are going to it for
Yes.
everything, maybe that's a good way, check out how just personal expression I'm sure there must be a lot of stuff
Oh,
on
yes,
YouTube.
yes.
Even
Your
for
own
that,
style.
isn't it?
Yeah, your own style.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big, meet or this political stage or something for you to
No,
talk. Just to be able to express yourself, one to the other. Just the husband and the wife, if they want to be able to sit down, maybe individually once, and go check out the YouTube and see if there is something and tell us about it, right? We can talk about it to a lot of people, because I
Yes.
feel this thing that you brought about communication today is so important, even at the basic level, is what I feel.
Yeah, it's the way you communicate.
Yeah, with everybody.
Yeah.
If you learn to communicate at home with the people that you live with, I have a feeling 99% of the people do not know how to communicate.
You
Would
can,
agree with me?
I believe you can ask
Would you
somebody
agree
to
with me
kill.
on that?
Exactly. You can ask somebody to kill for you if you ask them nicely.
So true.
Right?
So true. So true.
Right.
And it's not funny. People will
It's
not
not.
understand it until and unless they've experienced it. And I know that for one, okay?
Yes.
Because I've told about this to a lot of people before. My sister, for example, to say it very concisely, she is like Mother Teresa, her heart, okay? Mother Teresa.
Do-gooder.
Yeah, total do-gooder. But she's a woman who will not take, she's all about right and wrong.
No
Okay.
shades of grey.
No shades of gray, all right? And she's all very vocal about it. So she's about, if you're wrong, you're wrong. It's not as if she's trying to put somebody down, but she will just not, she's not somebody who can accept,
So she comes across as being a little blunt,
not just little.
a lot blunt.
Yeah, she does. But again, I have tried it so many times to see if I can actually prove that thing wrong. That what she was talking about somebody, was it right or wrong? All right, be it in the family, be it with anybody. She's very, very, very clear about what is right and what is wrong. And she will actually talk about it very loudly. Okay, so what I have seen is she's like all that Mother Teresa, and she is doing so much for people. It's unbelievable.
But the negativity, people are not getting the message because they feel
The
like
tone, first of all, the tone, all right? And secondly, if you're trying to make it sound like you're trying to judge somebody, right or wrong is judging. Right? Right? If it's gray, then it's acceptable. But if it's just black or white, then it's not really going to help. And here, I'm a good person, I know, but you know what? I'm not somebody who would go to help somebody out physically all out.
out of your way. Yeah,
I
your
can't.
sister's like that.
And not just physically. I mean, she would like cook for somebody. If you're sick and you live, 5 miles away, she will actually bring you food for the entire week. Okay, she'll go up and down and do stuff like that.
I have a strategy for that. The sister that you're explaining, I was like that.
You did all this.
I was like that. I was perfectly blunt
Okay.
and everything. But I learned some important lessons. Like, in order for me to market, I had to sometimes sugarcoat.
Yes.
And I had to learn the technique. And sometimes I write, the best emails are the ones that you don't send.
So
The
true.
best texts are the ones that you don't press send.
Send.
And the best words are the ones that are not spoken.
Spoken for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Right?
I was like that. I had to totally reprovision myself.
Wow.
The sister that you're talking, that's me. Ask
Wow.
my friends.
Yeah, she's been so straight, and I'm very proud of her for being,
Yeah.
brave enough to be able to say what is right or what is wrong. And on the other side, I'm a person that doesn't really go out of my way to do anything, but I'll be helpful if I can, okay? But I'm not going out of my way. And all I do is I'll never put anything in black or white. All right?
The
I'll
shades.
always give it, and I'll never put my opinion in that voice. All right, I will actually sugarcoat my words to explain to the other person that this is what I was thinking, and people actually get it. All right, when you tell it to them.
Yeah, and also it's not necessary to sugarcoat it, but if you have a way of conveying yourself,
Conveying it, exactly, in a
softly,
pleasant way.
Pleasant way. I learned
Pleasant,
that. You
yes.
can ask anybody. The time that I was in college, I was called JK-47. AK-47, JK-47 because of my mouth.
Seriously?
No filter. I was
Wow.
like a defect from God, untested, you know. Sometimes they go, that was me. Yes, I over years evolved.
That's amazing. I'm
It's
glad
a life
I brought
lesson.
this thing out.
You're talking
That this
about
part
me.
of you came out.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise
I
we wouldn't have
evolved. I evolved, and I understand the importance of communication, talking to another person.
Now you know what you're saying makes so much more meaningful. You know why? Because people won't take it for granted that you were always like this or you were born
Yes.
like this, right? So you learned, you trained yourself to talk the way you were talking.
Yes.
You
I was
understood.
endlessly teased in
Wow.
college in REC because of the way I was.
Wow. You know, that's very sad because my sister and me, I feel that I've not done, you know, 1% of what she does for people, for everybody in the family and everybody around her, all right? And me, always considered as that golden child,
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
between the two. And it's not fair. Only my heart knows that,
Yeah.
okay? And I don't need to actually talk about it on television if I
Right.
didn't mean it, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm saying this because that is how the world is. They are only wanting to listen to you if you are sweeter,
Yes.
pleasant,
Yes.
all right?
Yes. That conditioning took a long time. A lot of self-help books.
Yes.
A lot of Deepak Chopra, like I
Wow.
read a lot of Deepak Chopra. He like changed my point of view. Now I realize I don't get very angry. Hey, I texted you for an air compressor for my nebulizer and you didn't text me back. I'm mad at you. I helped you so much. You didn't help me out. I could have gone that way. But then in my head I thought, hey, she must really be having something important going
Correct,
on, or she was
correct,
sick that she didn't
correct,
respond.
correct.
I had some rude, nasty emails ready. I'm not going to send them, right? I was like that.
I know
It took
what
me
you
a
mean.
lot of conditioning
Correct.
to get to the point that I am.
So
I've
true.
calmed down a lot.
So true.
I give it some time.
Yes. Because the important part is communication, right? If you don't communicate it right, you are actually losing out on so much in life.
I've lost relationships. I've lost friendships.
There you go.
I've lost so many things because I didn't have a filter. I'm trying to get a filter. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
but-
Nobody is.
Yes,
Nobody
but
is. Nobody is.
yes, it's
Yes.
she needs to learn.
Yes, yes. And again, I brought this up in this particular topic that we are discussing is because at home, you know, husbands, wives, usually, see, this is our life.
Yes.
Basic life is our family, husband, wife, kids. And I'm always wanting to talk about only this factor because this is where a lot of things are not in place. That's the only reason why we all seem to be having a lot of stress and bitterness developed in ourselves.
Intentions are good, but the
Good.
way things come out.
Expression.
Yes,
You
yes.
are tired. You can always put it in a better way. Hey, today I'm tired. You know, tomorrow we can talk
Yeah.
about this.
Postpone it.
Yeah,
Postpone
yeah,
it.
be
In my head,
kind.
I put.
Just be kind to
Yes,
each other.
yes. When I want to do something, like when I want to say something bad to somebody, or
Yes.
you didn't do this to me, I say,
Yes.
okay, I'll give it one day.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I'm going to give it one day. If I still think like that, then I'll continue. Like Deepak Chopra says, stop thinking about it for 30 minutes. At that time, what happens? You get distracted.
Correct.
So I kind of condition. He says like stop thinking about it for the whole day, but I can't do that. So I tell myself,
Yeah.
this situation is upsetting me and I want to react, but I'm not going to think about it for the next half an hour,
At least.
at least. So
that's
what
a-
happens?
Smaller goals are easier to
Yes.
manage.
So in that half an hour, I'm distracted doing something else. I kind of
Yes.
forget about it. I'm much more calm. So
That
it's
is
like
okay. And
conditioning.
then you have a better perspective.
Of
all right,
things.
and you'll be able to
You're
put it
calmer.
better. Yes.
You make the most mistakes when you're aggravated.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I've done many
Whatever
mistakes.
comes out of your mouth at that time is
You can't
never
take it
making
back.
any sense.
You
and
can't
it doesn't
take
make
it
any
back.
sense. The
Yes.
worst thing is that you are your own enemy because whatever you're speaking doesn't make as much sense at that point of time. Because your thoughts are not actually in place. You're just all over the place. So you say something, nobody's going to get it. Or you're going to look like a real
idiot.
bad person.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you end up.
See, my mother used to say, the way I was, I do 99% of the good, but the one person used to bring me down. That mouth.
Exactly.
So she was always like that. People used to be afraid of me. Like my family used to be afraid of me. My parents used to be afraid of me. It was not a nice situation. It's intimidation.
And also very hurtful, isn't it? Because you know that you're doing so much for everybody and nobody understands.
Yeah.
And that's a huge hurt inside the heart that you're carrying. And that is the biggest baggage.
It's a hard
right?
baggage.
And how is life going to be easy if you already have so much baggage within yourself?
Yeah.
Right? So I guess this was like an amazing episode.
Oh,
all right, it's like 1 hour already. All right, a little over that. And I don't know.
I'm like,
we didn't
you
talk
could
about
be a good
anything.
therapist. I mean, I could. You just need people just need to listen to you.
No, I mean you helped me. You helped me. You know what? Everybody that comes here triggers something within you. You know, and what you started off with, which was totally about public.
It's dangerous because you make people let out their deepest, darkest secret. I'm going to go out and people are going to know about. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but you know what? Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
When you lose yourself and you just talk with,
and the fact that I used to be so embarrassed in college that used to call me JK. 47.
Oh my God.
It was embarrassing because my mouth was like an AK-47 rifle.
My God. And look at you. I mean,
I turned around.
You're a good person.
I turned around and I made my Gmail account have 47 in it. I've accepted it.
So amazing. That is so amazing. What can be better than learning from what you've done that didn't work for you? I think you are a true hero about that. Right? Behavioral changes are the most difficult.
Yeah, it took time.
Most difficult, okay? Did somebody encourage you or did you do it on your own?
My brother, my younger brother is more like my therapist. My younger brother, my husband, everybody, my family. They made me realize that that's not true. My husband is the most levelist person ever. He used to, like when I was calm, he used to coach me saying this. And my brother used to come and say, hey, because of your mouth, can you count the number of friends you have? How many people are going to show up at your funeral?
I know.
So,
and even if it is not that bad, okay?
Yeah.
Even if it is not that bad, and if it is not really making you come across as the real good person that you are, then how is it helpful? Is my question, right? You don't really have to be that bad that you will hardly have people at your funeral. But I'm saying there's so many of us out there
you do good.
saying things not in the right way, but you're doing enough good. So
intentions
that
are good.
Person.
Yes,
like you said, intentions are good.
Yes, and also there is a certain level of expectation. You like, hey, I did this to you, so you've got to do something back. I let that go.
It doesn't work because it doesn't work in the real world.
Yeah.
I give, you
go.
take. No, it doesn't happen that way at all.
I let that go.
Yes.
I let a lot of things go.
Wow.
And
you are a true hero in that, sweetheart. Absolutely. I mean, this part was the most essential part of our entire conversation because, seeing you come across as the person that you were coming across, you look like, the bestest thing God created. But this is not something God created. This is something that you created for yourself.
Yes. It was hard. I had to learn.
Proud.
I made mistakes.
So proud.
I offended a lot of people.
And a lot of hurt.
Yeah, a lot of hurt.
Tons of hurt, right? For people not being able to understand you because you know in your heart that you're a good person. You were saying something with good intention, but that was just not being put in the right way, and that was the only thing that was putting off others, and that would be so hurtful. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and also your personality should not be driven by ego. Or it should not be driven by what other people say. No, don't be attached to the results. Don't let your ego dictate anything. If you let go, then you become electrifying. You attract people. When you try to control over the situation, never going to happen.
Never going to happen. That's a beautiful thing you said. Wow, another aha moment, I would say. Thank you
Thank you for having me.
So
this is a good afternoon.
Very good afternoon, Jyotsna. It was beautiful, okay? And I can't thank you enough for being
you.
here today on my show. And hey, continue to do what you're doing, and maybe on Facebook or something, if you could share with us some
Sure,
videos,
absolutely.
okay, that could help us talk about, personal communication.
Absolutely.
Right? Why not? We could do
Absolutely.
something together, and I'm sure we could all really make it a beautiful place around us. Right? It's
Can't agree more.
Yeah, we can. It's
Yeah.
not just a saying. We actually can. Right?
Yeah, and look at
small
you
ways.
speaking. I mean, the way you connect with your audience, the way you convey yourself. I mean, that's something that all of us can learn.
Again, that I'm blessed with. It's not something that I learned. So that's the difference that I talk about. Sometimes you're just blessed. All right, I just got it in me. I understand people because I just love people.
Yeah.
Okay, I really do. Okay, so when you really love something, you are interested in them, right? So this
right.
all happens to me naturally. So I'm blessed. So I will not be able to take that much of credit for it when I have somebody like you sitting who has actually trained themselves really hard, worked on herself to be able to get to a position where she's able to convey herself right. Very proud of you, darling. All righty. Thank you
you
so
for having
very
me.
much. Oh my God, my pleasure, absolutely. Guys,
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. It was truly electrifying, and I actually sort of have goosebumps. I do. It's making me feel so amazing. I hope you're feeling the same, and I promise you, I'll be back here next week with another beautiful guest. But till then, I want you to keep smiling, take care of yourself, and do not forget, I love you.